Hi, I'm Recapster, and this is the film The Conjuring 4: Last Rites. An ordinary family buys an antique mirror and begins to encounter ghosts in their own home. To get rid of them, they call specialists in paranormal phenomena. The story of the film, based on real events, begins in 1964. Young married couple Ed Warren and Lorraine Warren, who have only recently started studying paranormal phenomena, talk with a woman named Victoria. When Victoria found the body of her father, the owner of an antique shop who had hanged himself, she felt the presence of an evil entity hiding among the old objects. Being a medium, the pregnant Lorraine examines the shop. Her attention is drawn to an old mirror framed with 3 cherubs. "Mirror, mirror, tell me," she thinks, before touching it. The surface of the mirror cracks, giving the medium a terrifying vision that includes her baby. Because of what she sees, Lorraine suddenly goes into labor. Ed quickly takes his wife to the hospital, speeding along the rain-soaked highway. At the clinic, the situation worsens when the electricity suddenly goes out, but the obstetrician continues the delivery anyway. The birth happens with complications. The umbilical cord is wrapped around the baby's neck, and the child is born lifeless. Holding the baby in her arms, Lorraine begins to pray passionately, and a miracle happens. The girl suddenly starts breathing. The Warrens raise their daughter, named Judy Warren, and cannot be happier. In 1986, the story moves to West Pittston, Pennsylvania, to the Smurl family. The middle daughter, Heather, is preparing for her confirmation ceremony, which the whole family happily celebrates, even recording it on a video camera at the church. That evening, during dinner, her grandfather gives Heather the same cursed mirror with the crack that remained after Lorraine's encounter. Although the girl doesn't like the gift and the dog starts barking at it, she pretends to be delighted. Soon, the candle on the birthday cake goes out by itself, and a lamp suddenly falls from the ceiling, cutting Heather's forehead with its glass. Meanwhile, the Warrens are giving lectures about paranormal phenomena to students who openly laugh at them. During lunch with their grown-up daughter Judy, it becomes clear that they no longer personally investigate every case because Ed has heart problems. The doctor directly told him that he would not survive another attack. Suddenly, Judy begins to murmur a children's rhyme that her mother once taught her to calm down and push away bad thoughts. Lorraine supports her daughter by holding her hand, but suddenly she sees a demonic claw resting on Judy's shoulder. Janet Smurl, while doing housework, goes down to the basement to do laundry. In the darkness, she sees the threatening silhouette of a man, which turns out to be only a portrait on the wall when the light is switched on. Later, while cooking dinner in the kitchen and talking on the phone, she feels someone pulling the phone cord from a dark closet, but when she turns on the light, nobody is there. At the same time, one of the younger twin daughters searches for her doll, where it suddenly rises into the air. It is being held by a terrifying old woman with a gray face and a horrifying smile. However, during dinner, no one believes the girl. Later, Heather and her older sister Dawn decide to get rid of the frightening mirror. They carry it down the stairs and leave it near the trash. In the morning, garbage collectors take it away together with the other bags, crushing the mirror inside the truck. At that same moment, during breakfast, Dawn suddenly begins vomiting uncontrollably, even vomiting blood. Ed Warren celebrates his birthday. Judy brings her boyfriend Tony to the celebration, and he is very interested in the research work of her parents. He even asks the guests whether they have seen exorcism rituals. Meanwhile, Judy visits her old childhood room. Suddenly, the room becomes dark, and in the mirror, she sees the reflection of the demonic doll Annabelle. The doll seems unhappy that Judy has become the audience's favorite, especially since Annabelle herself already has 3 solo films. But when Judy recites the rhyme, the vision disappears. Tony takes the opportunity to tell him and Lorraine that he wants to propose to their daughter. Lorraine approves, while Ed asks him to wait a little longer. However, Judy unexpectedly returns, sees the ring, and immediately agrees. Meanwhile, the Smurl family tries to decide what to do about the ghosts in their house. Dawn argues with her father, believing he does not trust them. Until now, he has not personally experienced anything supernatural. But that night, the man suddenly begins levitating above his bed. In the mirror, a ghost can be seen sitting on him. Heather watches watches the recording of her confirmation ceremony again. At the moment with the birthday cake, she notices something suspicious and pauses the tape. She sees that when the candle went out, a ghostly face appeared beside her for a moment. Later, she notices two glowing eyes above the television, but it turns out to be only the reflection of porcelain dishes. However, when car headlights shine through the window, a man with an axe suddenly attacks Heather. Her scream stops her father's levitation. After this, it becomes impossible to doubt the supernatural. To solve the problem, the Smurl family informs both the media and the church. Journalists react faster than the priests. Soon, their friend Father Gordon arrives, a priest who has worked with the Warrens before. He comes on the same day when an unknown force pushes the grandmother down the stairs, sending her to the hospital. After examining the house, Father Gordon realizes that a powerful evil spirit is present and goes to ask the bishop for help. Meanwhile, Judy tries on a wedding dress. In the fitting room, surrounded by mirrors, she suddenly notices that some reflections do not copy her movements. Then she feels someone under the dress. At first, she thinks it is the seamstress, but soon realizes that someone else is hiding there, the same terrifying old woman. When the lights go out, Judy panics and begins reciting the rhyme, which makes the vision disappear. But then her reflection in the mirror starts knocking from the inside, breaks the glass, and grabs her by the throat. Only her mother's sudden appearance ends the vision. Meanwhile, Father Gordon waits to meet the bishop. In the reception area, he speaks with a secretary, but after a moment realizes that there is no one behind the desk. When the phone rings and he answers it, Judy's voice tells him to step back. The door handle slowly turns along with the engraved cross. The door opens, revealing complete darkness. The priest protects himself with a cross, but it suddenly catches fire in his hand. Terrified, Father Gordon leaves the office, wraps the power cord of a floor polisher around his neck, and jumps into the stairwell. Later, Tony helps Ed repair his motorcycle. In gratitude, Ed shows him the storage room where the Warrens keep cursed and possessed objects collected during their investigations. At that moment, they learn about Father Gordon's death. After the funeral, Judy briefly stays behind to touch the coffin. At that moment, the medium ability she inherited from her mother awakens. She tries to find out where the priest died. At home, Lorraine faces a more ordinary horror, a huge pile of dirty dishes. While cleaning the sink, she finds a medallion with her daughter's photo blocking the drain. Suddenly, the water in the sink turns into blood and overflows onto the kitchen floor. Ed interrupts the vision when he enters the room. Soon, Tony arrives with alarming news. Judy has gone to Pennsylvania. Frightened by a bad feeling, Ed and Lorraine travel there with Tony to the Smurl house, which is now surrounded by journalists. They find Judy inside. She came to help the family, just as Father Gordon intended. Although Lorraine wants her daughter to leave, Judy convinces them to help the family together. Ed brings a bag with a Bible from the car, while Lorraine carefully examines the house. Meanwhile, Judy photographs her parents because she has never seen them work before. Lorraine goes to the basement and experiences a vision of the past. A man once lived there who killed his wife and mother with an axe before taking his own life. But Lorraine realizes that a much stronger demon awakened these spirits. Meanwhile, Judy explores the attic and finds the cursed mirror with the cherubs and the crack. Nearby, she finds writing on the wall that says, "Missed me?" Darkness fills the room. In the beam of her flashlight, Judy sees Annabelle again. The doll grows larger and begins chasing her. Her parents arrive just in time, and the vision disappears. The Warrens admit to the Smurl family that in 1964, they never finished the investigation of the antique shop because they ran away from the cursed mirror after Judy's birth. Now they decide to take the mirror to their museum of cursed objects, since it cannot be destroyed, only safely contained. But while carrying it, the mirror becomes heavier. The straps suddenly open, revealing the mirror's surface. The homeowner looks into it, sees a ghost on the ceiling, and falls through the attic opening. The mirror falls and seriously injures him. Outside, Tony crashes his car into the Smurl fence while trying to avoid an old woman standing in the road. A storm begins and the electricity goes out. Inside the house, Lorraine finds Judy crying beside a nightlamp, but the demon has possessed her. The possessed girl pushes Lorraine into the basement and attacks the dog by throwing it against the wall. Ed tries to reason with his daughter, but the demon causes him another heart attack. Judy walks toward the attic. In the basement, Lorraine sees the ghost of the axe murderer attacking his wife again. The ghost begins chasing her until Tony saves her by opening the basement door. They send the Smurl family outside and go to the attic. There they see Judy hanging from a rope. Tony manages to revive her. At that moment, the mirror rises into the air and spins violently. Ed tries to perform an exorcism using a prayer from the Bible, but the book catches fire. Lorraine then remembers the rhyme she once used to comfort Judy as a child. When mother and daughter recite it together, the demon weakens and disappears in a powerful explosion that shatters the windows. The next morning, the Warrens leave the Smurl house with the cursed mirror and place it in their museum. Later, Judy and Tony celebrate their wedding. The film ends with historical information. Although many scientists mock the Warrens, today they are considered pioneers in paranormal research. They were married for 60 years. Ed died at the age of 79. Lorraine lived to 92, and their occult museum still keeps many cursed artifacts, including the mirror.